If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. If you've been following my channel, at least for a few months, you know I've been documenting what's going on with the after-school Satan program. If you're new to the channel, let me quickly summarize what's going on. The Satanic Temple has been targeting schools that have the after-school program known as the Good News Club, which is a Christian after-school program. They've been targeting schools that have that program and countering it with the after-school Satan program, a program targeted at 4-year-old children, elementary school children, across the United States of America. This is to indoctrinate these young children with false ideologies, a false belief in quote-unquote sciences, which is what they're claiming that they're doing, is teaching science and things like that. This is how the Satanists operate. They pretend that they're not Satanists, that they're really atheists, that they don't actually believe in Satan, yet Satan is their logo, the Baphomet's on their logo. The only thing they target is going against Christians and the Ten Commandments, supporting abortion because, of course, they support abortion. They pretend they're doing it for women's rights. They support it because that's part of the blood ritual that is needed for these Satanists to give to Satan. So they support the abortion clinics, and they go after people who claim to be victims of satanic ritual abuse because they call it the Satanic Panic and they pretend it's not real. So for a group of atheists, they sure put a lot of time caring for abortions, which any Christian out there knows that these abortions are targeted as rituals and sacrifices for Satan. That's why this thing has spread, because they're ritual offerings. Most of them are operated on satanic grounds. These children are murdered, but of course they put it across as, well, it's a woman's right to choose, and they convince everybody that that's not what it's really about. So the Satanists have begun their after-school Satan program, and about 2 weeks ago they had their first meeting in Portland, Oregon. And you can see here there were people outside protesting the event.
With signs and prayers, abide in me, and grant that I may. A couple dozen people made it clear they don't want Satan here.
Satan is Satan. There's nothing good that could come out of that.
Jose Delgado, he's one of them. He's okay with people not seeing things the way he does.
I mean, freedom of speech, freedom of thinking, believe what you want.
And he gets that both groups get to be here, but not so sure either one should be.
If you're trying to prove a point, there's other ways to prove it, why bring it into especially in elementary school where kids' brains aren't fully developed, they can't think for themselves.
Satanic Temple co-founder Lucian Greaves wants them to, and wants their parents to.
Or at least realize that different symbols can mean different things to different cultures or different people, and that you need to judge people for their real-world actions rather than crass assumptions, then we'll have done the children very much a positive service.
The Good News Club canceled their meeting today. It was a half day for kids, and organizers didn't want to cause more of an uproar, they say, than there already has been over these meetings.
We believe that there's an open marketplace of ideas. We value the right of every person to exercise their legal and constitutional right to have a club in the school on the same basis that we do. And actually, it's Good News clubs that have made that.
And of course, you see Mr. Pigman Eye, Lucian Graves, out there saying we're not real worshipers of Satan. The same story we always hear. They peddle the same bull crap because that's what it is. It's bull crap. What they're doing is they're targeting these kids. They're targeting them to indoctrinate them in Satanism. These kids are not fully developed. That's why they're going after elementary school students and not going after, people in high schools, teens in high school. They're targeting elementary school kids because their brains are still developing. And that's when they begin indoctrinating them with sorcery and witchcraft. And they even say, well, we're going to teach them science and political thinking and things like that. And we'll play some games. Of course, the games, I'm sure, will be games that indoctrinate them with witchcraft because most of these games do that, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or Magic cards or the Ouija board. Okay, we even see in their satanic coloring book that they have, which they've been handing out at other schools across America, specifically in Colorado, where you can see, look at the activities inside the coloring book. Teach your kid to draw the upside down pentagram and the Baphomet, connect the dots in the Baphomet. They got kids sitting in, ritual circles, performing spells and witchcraft. They try to make it look like it's good and it's nice and it's friendly. This is what's going on. Unfortunately, the masses out there don't believe that Satanism is real. They don't believe the occult is real. They think that all of us Christians who speak against it are lunatics because they don't see it on mainstream media. They don't see it on CNN. They don't see it on the news. And this is the uphill fight that we have. But we have to make sure we keep our feet firm and our stance strong and attacking this because these Satanists are going after these kids. So while there's so many things going on in this country, there's so much stuff going on right now. It's important to stay aware and updated what's going on with this after-school Satan program in case it's coming to a town near you. And maybe you could do something about it. At the very least, pull your kids from these schools and make sure that they're not getting involved in it. Because even if your child is in one of these schools and he isn't participating in this after-school program, he might know someone who is, and they might tell him or tell his friends and spread the word about it. Oh, it's cool. Oh, it's fun. And you never know what he's doing or how he could be indoctrinated by another student in that school. It's poisonous. It's cancerous. You don't want your children around this kind of stuff. So we've seen the first one open November 16th. They had their first open house, they were calling it. But technically it was their first actual meeting in Portland, Oregon. And now we have another one that's about to start in Tacoma, Washington, December 14th. Okay, it has been approved for the After School Satan Club. And again, they claim that they're teaching children logic, self-empowerment, and reasoning, and that they don't worship a deity. It's total fraud. It's total lies. All you got to do is look at their logo, their obsession with the Baphomet. Okay, they just know that the masses out there don't have an understanding about it. So they just go, well, it's just an image. It stands for balance and equality and all this stuff. It's all lies, lies on top of lies. And now if you even see their Twitter page, they're now targeting and trying to open one in Texas as well. And this is going to continue to spread because what's going to happen is they're going to say, look, we opened in Portland, Oregon. Nothing happened, right? Oh, demons weren't falling from the sky, and they're going to make a big joke out of it and say, listen, we didn't do anything. Nothing bad's happening. No kids are complaining, and it's going to spread just like that. So we're seeing it now going to Washington. They're already targeting Texas. They're targeting lots of other states, but it looks like Texas might be the next one to fall. And the reason they're targeting schools that have the Good News Club, the Christian after school program, is that if these schools reject it, they can use litigation. They can say, listen, you're allowing Christianity in school after school, then you have to allow us. It's religious freedom. And then one of two things is going to happen, right? They're either going to say, well, the Good News Club, which is spreading the word of God, now has to be removed from school. Or they're going to say, okay, since we have the Christianity program, we're going to have the Satanist program. So it's for them, technically, it's a win-win. And they're using litigation. They're threatening lawsuits against these schools. And of course, the schools are backing down and cowarding down and allowing this to go on. Or at the very least, they're taking the Christian Good News Clubs out of the schools. So that's why they're targeting these. So it doesn't seem suspicious that they're just showing up at random elementary schools and going, hey, we want to put our after school Satan club in here. And people, will probably raise their eyebrows and say, what is this and why? And go on and on and on. They're doing it this way for a reason. This is part of the mind control. This is part of how they're, easing people into it and saying fair is fair. Well, if they're allowed to, we are. And you hear all this BS about religious equality and religious freedoms and the religious laws that we have in this country. Meanwhile, they're getting away with targeting very young children whose brains are still developing, and they're indoctrinating them with Satanism, although they claim it's not people like myself, people listen to this channel, we're not fools. We're not stupid. Okay. I mean, your logo's got the Baphomet, the upside down pentagram. It's all associated. I mean, you know, it's amazing to me how naive they think we are, but they know that we're aware of what's going on, but the masses don't care, and they're not aware, and they would laugh about it because all they have to do is say, ooh, satanic panic, oh, satanic panic, oh, witch hunt, oh, my goodness, there's nothing to prove, you can't prove this, you can't prove that. And what it is they're indoctrinating these young children, and they're getting them on the path to become Satanists, to become witches. That's what this is about for them. You know, they could start them off with Harry Potter, no different than, you know, most of these other people who end up in the occult, but they're doing it on school property. You know, start them off with small magic things and, oh, it's fun and look at this, look at that. The next thing you know, 10 years from now, the fourth grader is now much older and practicing much more sophisticated magic and much more interested in it because he's seen the effects of magic and seen that magic is real. And, you know, then these people just get obsessed with it and they continue down that dark path and their souls become damned. And it's extremely important for the Satanists to get these kids at a young age. So again, I wanted to point it out because I haven't done a video on it in over a month, but it's important to know. And the first one is open. It's running in Portland, Oregon, December 14th. The second one will be up and running. And this is just going to be a domino effect. It's going to start happening all over the country. Once the first one happened on November 16th, that was it. Because people have been protesting it, signing petitions, fighting against it, trying to go outside the school and protest and things like that. Obviously, that doesn't get anything accomplished because all they have to do is go to the school board and say, we're going to sue you because you have the Christian after-school program. We'll sue you right now unless you let us in. Of course, they cower down and say, what's the big deal? They don't really believe in Satan because these school board members, none of them have a clue what this is even about. They don't believe in their heart of hearts that this stuff is real. Obviously, we all know that this is real, and this isn't the only thing that they're doing right now. They're obviously targeting, properties that have government properties that have the Ten Commandments on there because they want statues of the Baphomet in Arkansas and in other states. So we're seeing all of this go on right in front of our eyes. Nobody seems to care all that much about it. They even mock the Ten Commandments on their Twitter page like the fools that they are. But again, remember, they claim in their tenets that they don't disrespect other religions and other people's beliefs, and they don't believe in Satan. They're atheists, yet they target Christians, they target God constantly. They target these young children. I mean, what do you think? We were born yesterday, Satanists? These people are so arrogant and so they think we're so naive. It's unbelievable, how dumb they think we are. They're actually the dumbest people on the earth, because they think that they're getting away with this. And on Judgment Day, they will not be getting away with this. And in fact, even now on earth, they won't be getting away with it because people are going to continue to speak up. So if you have children in schools, in public schools, keep an eye on this and make sure it does not come into your school, or you'll have to pull your kid from the school. I mean, there's no way around it. You can't have your kid exposed to this stuff. Even if they're not participating in the program, other kids are going to participate, and it's going to rub off that way. A kid comes in, oh, look what we did. Oh, draws a pentagram. Oh, your child gets interested, or at least is exposed to it without knowing the evils and the dangers that it is, because the kid will make it sound like it's cool and it's fun because it's all mind control. It's all brainwashing. They're trying to get these kids to want to join it and think it's exciting and fun. These kids have no idea the severity of what they're doing by being involved in it. And later, as they grow through life, they'll probably go deeper into the occult and deeper into the magic and the rituals. So it's important to know this. So again, Portland, Oregon's has opened. Washington's December 14th. We're going to see it apparently in Texas pretty soon and other states. I'll keep you posted on it as I hear information on the subject. But you should be very aware of your children and what's going on at their schools, and make sure that this is not coming to your school. And again, if you have a child that is in one of these schools, you should definitely get them out, or try to do something about it, which would be threaten lawsuit yourself for having that in there, or whatever you could possibly do. And of course, more importantly than all, pray on it. Pray for the protection of these children who are going to be brainwashed into the occult, who don't know what they don't know what they would be even getting involved in. The parents are obviously completely naive and think it's a giant joke because they give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So when the Satanists say, hey, don't mind the fact that we have the pentagram, we have the tenets, that we say Hail Satan at the end of all of our invocations, that we do invocations, that the Baphomet, we're obsessed with the Baphomet and it's our logo, and we call ourselves a Satanic Temple. I mean, on and on and on. Don't mind that stuff. We're atheists. Huh? I mean, how naive can people be? Give me a break. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.